Hello, Thundersmith here, welcome to the Gaming Nexus. Today I'm showcasing Survival Colony. It's one another like Minecraft recreation game, so we have our favorite voxels, we have zombies at night and open world to explore. With a twist, of course. It's not exactly Minecraft, it's Minecraft with a twist. In this game, you're managing your own colony and its expansions, and there is mechanics of threat. So, like, the more advanced your colony is, the higher is the threat, and depending on the threat level your colony is generating, the higher amount of like zombies appear at night. And you have to protect your colony from the zombies by building walls or mining holes or something. Basically, if you just surround your colony with a wall without way accessible for zombies to reach the banner, then you will be treated as in a siege. Okay, I lost the word for a moment. So it will be treated as if you are under a siege. So you will have like 10 times higher food cost of keeping your citizens alive. You don't want that. You don't want that. Really, you don't want that. So keep some way for the zombies to reach your banner, but you can easily slow them down by forcing them to like go through complicated mazes. You can slow them down by digging deep holes, and you of course can kill them by placing guards. By default, daytime guards are not necessary because zombies spawn only at night, similarly to Minecraft, but they don't spawn based on the light level, but based on the time of day. And your banner actually generates some safe field around itself where zombies cannot spawn. And this is your safe area. I surrounded my safe area with this wooden wall I'm running around, just to force zombies to come from a single direction. They can't access my base other than through the front gate, and they need to reach the front gate and don't be killed by my nighttime guards. Later on, I am planning on to adding some more nighttime guards on the towers in the corners. This will reduce amount of zombies that can actually reach the gate. Otherwise, at some point, they can overwhelm only 2 guardsmen on the gate, and then zombies will break into my base and can cause some damage. In Colony Survival, zombies don't actively pursue player because your death actually doesn't change a lot. You can just easily respawn after few seconds, but they target banner at first, because if zombies can reach your banner, then they will start killing your citizens, and this will like cause your whole colony to roll back to its smaller size, because you need the citizens to work at the work tables to actually produce you some kind of resources. Most kind of resources. In the last update, there were these windmill that you can see sometimes. It's standing out there somewhere, and during the ride of the zombies, they tend to go straight to the banner because they want to kill as many citizens as they can, and standing at banner allows them to kill the citizens without finding them first. So that's interesting mechanics. For a few updates already, the game includes the mechanics of building outposts. I myself didn't manage to build any outposts. I think they're a bit costly to set up and demanding, actually. Luckily, the citizens mechanic changed because otherwise this would be even harder. But about that later. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about outposts. So, right now in the game, there are different regions you need to visit for different resources. And depending on where you're starting, some regions may be closer, some regions may be farther away. And if you want access to all the resources available, then you will need to actually travel the world and discover different regions and build outposts in these regions. For example, gold is one of the early resources that you can unlock, and to mine gold ore, it suggests in the tooltip that gold ore can be found only under snowy mountains. So that's the first destination. The game encourages player to actually build their first outpost. So definitely your first base, your first banner should be somewhere relatively flat with enough space for farms and small mine. It doesn't need to be big. And your first outpost definitely should be centered around food and water. And later on, you can create more outposts centered around different things, like collecting gold, collecting stone, and collecting some rare different regions specific goods. I think cotton, for example, is a kind of good available only in hot region, and if you want to supply your citizens with cotton clothes other than flax clothes, then or linen if you like, because linen is made out of flax. So then you will need to discover the hot region and produce the cotton there and export it to your original base. So that's how outposts work. They have this. The game offers this special block that allows trading between outposts, and that should allow you to connect inventories of different outposts together. So that's how connecting outposts works. Previously in the game, as I remember it, before few updates, the mechanics about citizens were a bit different. It was like with each citizen, your threat level raised, and also you needed to create more convoluted, more complicated food items to keep your citizens happy, just to be able to recruit more citizens. And each new citizen added additional cost of defending your base because it spawned new monsters at night, creating more food because they needed their meals, creating more vanity items for them to be happy, and this caused quite a lot of issues with the players, because you see, every time you added a new citizen to your colony, it caused heavy load on the colony, and you quickly found out that there is no way to speed over the bump, and you were just getting stuck. So the game slowly forced you to stop expanding, stop recruiting citizens, only because otherwise you won't either be able to feed them, keep them happy, or defend them. And the cost increased exponentially, but your production capability increased linearly with each citizen. So it was impossible to actually enjoy the game, because at some point you were just soft locked out of expanding your colony, because otherwise it will fall. There are few games on the market that are centered around the base that you're building, and that it's going to fail, it's going to fall. There is no way to defend it, and earlier or later it will fall. It depends how long you can stay afloat before it happens. And I'm glad that change was made, and right now you can easily recruit more citizens and keep them alive, keep them working, especially with new production mechanics, where almost all items needs to be crafted by citizens, and player crafting ability is very limited to only few items available in the windmill seen on the left right now. But let's concentrate on the zombies that are trying to reach my base right now. There's quite a few. Of course, I as a player can also use weapons, so I can just switch to my weapon and start shooting zombies. Take note that amount of stones in my inventory is falling down, so I'm using ammo as normal, and so I need to craft it or order my citizens to craft it for me. So that's that. You need to take this into account. Another interesting thing about the zombies is they have different kinds of zombies here. So right now we've seen only the slowest, the weakest zombies there are, with only one hit of health and they're done. So those are the weakest zombies, and during increasing of the threat of your base, they will start appear some more tough zombies. So those one we've seen here were shirtless zombies. Then later on you can see zombies with shirts, and they are tougher. They require 2 hits from the stone, and then there's even more resilient zombies requiring 4 hits, and so on and so on. But also you can unlock some more advanced technologies, defensive technologies, to kill the zombies, and even automated traps. Automated to some point, because there needs to be a trap master that will reload the traps when they deployed. So they still need some upkeep, some maintenance. But back to the weapons. You can craft more advanced weapons. So the sling is the first weapon you can get. It's the weakest, but the fastest. And it's important that each weapon stronger will be slower. So next tier of weapon is bow. It's slower than Sling, but it also deals more damage. And what's very interesting and what's very important is that your guards are intelligent, and if you have archer as a guard and the guy with the stones, then the archer will shoot the more hefty zombies first and leave the weak one for the slinger. And then later on you can have crossbowman. He's even stronger than an archer, but even slower. And from what I reckon, the strongest weapon right now in the game is like arquebus. So the strongest defender on your walls or around your pit or something can be like gunner. And the gun requires a lot of reloading, it's very slow, so it's worth only if there already are the strongest zombies that require like a lot of shots from any other weapon, and they easily die from the arquebus. So that's quite interesting. That's something a bit more engaging than in Minecraft zombies. Okay, I'm right now expanding my food production because, as you probably can see in my top right corner, I still have a very limited supply of food, and I want to extend that because recruiting single citizen requires 4 units of food, and right now I don't have that much. And okay, I am creating flax fields because I need to add flax farmers for cloth for further research and upgrading my base. So let's place a few more slingers on my towers. They will help protect my gate from too many enemies, because all the zombies approaching from different sides of the wall, so like from the back, from the side, that will need to go around the wall, will be shot down by the slingers on the towers, and this way they won't approach the gate, so my gatekeepers can be safer and won't be so vulnerable to being overwhelmed by multiple zombies. For anyone worried about citizens sleeping under the stars without any buildings, this is just starting out. This colony is definitely not finished, and I don't have many like nice looking materials available right now. That's why I am not building any fancy houses for my citizens, because, well, I'm waiting for right materials. I don't want to build some buildings with the wooden planks only for them to become absolute once I get some more fancy resources. And then once I get them, I'll have to demolish the old houses and rebuild them again. Let's be real, I'm only a single person. I'm not willing to rebuild my whole base only because I unlocked some new materials. So, up until I get all the materials I want, they're sleeping outside. That's how it is. And for anyone interested in fantasy genre and its political systems, you can treat this game as an communist utopia where everyone is working for the common good of the colony and their only pay is their daily meal. So I, as the state, should provide them with decent housing and safety. Of course, using their own resources. How other. And as you can see, as in every good communist utopia, every citizen has his own her own bed, and everyone is equal. They all have the same stars over them, so exactly as it should be. That was good. Okay, so they are crafting tools, they crafting metal. Here we have fields collecting food and flags. There are those crates around my colony, and they are used to gather resources by the citizens. So you need to place them around, otherwise your citizens will need to go to the banner, and you don't want that. Otherwise, they just wasting time going to the banner. So give them crates somewhere close to their work, so they don't have to go to the banner and waste their time. Later on, I can unlock also food court, and it will allow me to create workplaces where workers can get their food, so they don't have to go to the banner for their daily meal. And I'll probably will be utilizing that later on, but up until it's unlocked, I can do nothing about that. Few words of warning about the science. Because there are many different research available in the science tab, and when you decide to discover some, you need to gather resources to fulfill the research requirements, and once you have all the resources, you can just simply unlock the given technology. But be aware, in this version of the game, so after updates and with the new system around the citizens, the most important source of threat are researchers. So you need to take into account which research you're choosing, because some of them can be very costly in case of threat, in terms of threat, because they can add 10, 20 points to your threat. So different technologies can quickly increase your threat level above what you expected, and this can happen to be hard to get out of easy. Luckily, there is no way that the game can end permanently, because you can always kill the zombies that are standing at your banner. Then probably your threat will fall to zero for some time, because you will have no citizens or anything, and you can just gather some random food around the world and craft it into the meals, and rehire your lost citizens and slowly build back up from where you lost. So there's not really a way to permanently lose, but of course, if you don't feel like rebuilding all the population and you feel just like starting over, that's always a way. That's always a possibility. So don't worry. Don't be too hasty with your decisions, and especially if you're learning the game, it's better to wait for the day more than to cause your village to die of hunger because you recruited one person too many. Player can help to collect some resources and then deliver them to the base. Actually, it's funny because you see, player has always access to the base storage. No matter where he or she is, player can always deliver items to the base storage or take items from base storage. So you can be like 20,000 blocks away from your outpost and you will still have its inventory. That's quite good for let's say building outposts, because otherwise you would have to carry all the resources with you, and that's not really valuable. But yeah, this changes something. This helps you to easier build and always have access to your resources no matter where you are. So this episode is slowly coming to an end. If you like the video, please leave me a like or subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm posting Sailwind every Wednesday, and I'm posting something random every Saturday around 4 p.m. Pacific time. So be aware that new videos appear then. And please let me know if you can in the comments. Did you play the game? Did you like it? Or if you haven't played the game, what's your opinion about it based on the video? And also, if you can, I'll be really glad for any feedback about my videos. I would very much like to make better videos for you and to give you quality content. I know that gameplays are not especially popular right now, that their peak popularity were at 2008 or 2010, somewhere around that, and they're not really hot topic right now. But anyway, I'm doing something that I like. I'm hoping that I can, nonetheless, without care that the content is maybe not fit to the wider audience. Anyway, I'm hoping I can deliver you the correct amount of entertainment and maybe even some value in case of all my blabbing and telling you about different things in different games or in one and the same game. So, without further ado, we have few last seconds of the episode, so see you next time, and I'm hoping you have had a great time with this episode. Bye!